Good afternoon. In this video, we're going over this past week's trades and the weekly recap. Before I get into the recap, if you're not in the room, you can find the link in the description of the video and in the bio section of social media accounts. Let's see, I finished, well, first of all, Happy New Year. It's a new year. It's 2024 now. I did finish the last week of the year of 2023 with 0 losses. So a flawless week, the end of the week of the year. I can't ask for a better way to close out the year to have a flawless week. I think that's probably the best way, if possible, to do it. With 11 wins, 0 losses. So definitely pleased about that. So, and being a short week, I don't normally do well on short weeks, and for some reason, it's been my Achilles heel. Every short week, I just don't do well. I don't know why that is. It is what it is, and I know that I do have that issue. So, so I end up being a little more cautious, being a little more patient, just on that. So, with that said, see, SPY puts under. Well, the trade ideas room for the 26th, which is Tuesday, day after Christmas. SPY puts under 473.50, which is down here. I grounded down to this low right here, around nice medium round number. If there's a low or a high that's like right here, that's like 473.86, I'll round down to the nearest $0.50. I just do that for pre-market. There's no point going exact number because the first opening candle will bounce up and down just enough to get you in and trap you, and I just don't like doing that. So I prefer the open range breakdown or breakout strategy. If you're going to play open at open, you wait for the first 10-minute candle to form. And if it's a solid green candle, I'll take calls over higher day. If it's a solid red candle, I'll take puts at lower day. Or if I'm expecting a drop, I'll just wait for that direction, even regardless of the candle. So, with that said, first green candle was a strong green candle on Tuesday. I don't even have my Twitter account yet. Yeah, I do now. I didn't take calls right away. I waited until, let's see, 11:12, which is right here. No, 11:12 here. I didn't chase this. I waited. They had a pull back down to VWAP. I didn't take puts there. I was just being cautious, I think. And it bounced up. And when it came back up and got over these candles right here, get the body, say about the 475 area, 474.95. I will use exact numbers intraday trading, especially when you have areas, because that 5-10 cents could be the difference of 50 cents to $1 move in SPX. So during the day, I will use exact numbers, exact numbers. So once I get over 474.95, I took calls. I took the 47.70 calls at $6, and then went from $6 to $6.80. So I get a little bit of a move. Didn't really do too much. And dropped down to VWAP. Just grinded all day long. This was not favorable conditions whatsoever. It's just a grind, slow grind, theater eating day. You could have bought the dips at the 20 EMA, but like I said, I was expecting a drop. We've had a huge Christmas rally. And I was expecting a drop this week because we've had drops, strong Christmas rallies, and we'd have a drop after the day after Christmas. So I was kind of anticipating maybe a drop this week, but I wouldn't be surprised either being one of these weeks where, because it's between Christmas and New Year's, a lot of people take it off, take vacations and stuff like that, and that's when you see low volume and really snaky moves happen. So it just slow grind up. It really didn't really go anywhere until like in the afternoon, like 2 o'clock, and then it just took off. And I had this massive pop here at 320. I grabbed puts at 350 when it broke down right here underneath the 475.80 area. underneath this green candle. I took puts. I took the 47.80 puts at 320, and they went from 320 to 790. So I did get that play. That's it. I mean, didn't like the action. This is not good action, even though it looks like that if you bought calls, you would have done well, but actually you wouldn't have because the premiums were not moving that day. It was slow grinding, and the theater was just eating away at all the small moves. So you wouldn't have made anything unless you held all the way to the end of the day for that. But hindsight's always 2020. You don't know what the day's gonna bring. So it is what it is. So with that said, Wednesday 27th. Again, sorry, my throat is so hurting right now. SPY puts under 475, which is down here. Below is at 475.35, so I rounded down to 475. That's just how I like to do things. Still looking for puts on that. And first trade of the day, I took calls. Strong green candle right here. So I took calls right when it broke over higher day. Got a little bit of a push. I took the 47.80 calls at 47.80 calls at 640, and then went from 640 to $7. Not much of a play. It was anticipating another choppy day. Then it just started getting a little more volatile, but in the range. So when it broke below the area right here, you can see the wick and the wick at 475.80. I took puts. I took the 47.70 puts at 630. Oh no, I didn't take it up here. I took it down here, I think, because I got it at 630 and it went to 710. So I think I got it right here. I did not get it up here. I got it down here. Right down here at the 475.40 area. That's where I got the 47.70 puts at 630 and it went to 710. So I got it here, not up here. So I got a little bit of a move. Hoping that we're going to break lower day and just keep going, but no, not much of a move. Then I took puts at 1041, which is right here. This time I did take him right at the body of these candles right here. I do remember this. You get the body, a nice little lineup right here, and this closed above these two bodies, so I definitely like that. Wick's way down here, so I wouldn't have gone by the wick, but the fact that you get the two bodies lining up here, and this body is above these two, so I liked it underneath the 475.50 area. So I grabbed the 47.70 puts again at 550 this time, and then went from 550 to 720. So they had a nice little good move right there. Then I bought puts again at 2 o'clock, which is right here in this candle. Question is, where did I get it? I got the 47.75 puts at $5 and went from $5 to $9.50. I'm gonna assume that I got it right here underneath the body of these candles right here. You get the body, and this body closed above it. So I went for these two right here. I love seeing these kind of setups right here because they always do really, really well. So I grabbed the puts right there underneath the 475.50 area. They'll just round down. Well, actually 475.55 area. They went from $5 to $9.50. So that ended up being a good play, good range play right here. I'm not a fan of ranges. I don't like the idea of buying puts at higher day or buying calls at lower day because the market could rage or it could just fall apart, and it just screams a huge trap, and I do not like that. So I tend to stay away from those. So then we had a gap up overnight. So the trade ideas room on the 28th was SPY puts into 476, rounded down to the nearest dollar. There's a low right here. Is at 476.60, rounded down. I can see 470. What did I say? 476. Yeah, so 476 is down, way down here. Yeah, I definitely didn't want to call 476.50 because we're at 476.59 on this low. Oh, what, 9 cents? Don't. That's kind of stupid. So round down, skip it, go down to 476. So, let's see. Then I took. I took puts at 9.45. I didn't take calls. Inside candle didn't make new high day, but 9:45 right here when it broke below new lower day, I grabbed it. And I got the 47.85 puts at 660, and it didn't break lower day. Well, it did for a split second. It bounced back up. Then I ended up averaging down at 1241, which is right. It didn't go green here, I don't think. 1241 right here. Yeah, I know why I took it up here, because I added more at $3, make my new average 465. I did that. Anticipating that we were going to stay in the range, because when you're having range days, I do not like buying, like I said, at the puts at higher day or calls at lower day. What I'll do is I will find an area in the middle of the channel or that's easy to go off from, and I ended up adding right up here towards the top of the channel, or towards the top of the range, assuming that we would stay in the range of this 477.40-ish to the 476.50. We would stay in that range. So me adding up here was taking a chance, and then we finally dumped. So I added that 3, making my new average 465. Then we finally have a dump, and those went from 465 to 630. That ended up being a good play. Then it, broke below the range. It came back in, and it came right back into its range. So I will find areas like this. I could have taken calls over the body of this candle and the body of the body, which would be over this 476 or even 477 area, and I could have taken calls. So to me, it's easier to buy calls in an area like this than down here. Or if I was to buy puts, I would buy puts underneath the body of these candles right here instead of versus up here. I'll find something in the middle that I can go off from either direction if it's a range day. To me, I feel like that's safer. That's just the way I like to do things. But I did grab puts right here, right off this area, right below VWAP. I think I took it. It might have been right below this 477 area. Yeah, I took the 47.90 puts at $5, and it went from $5 to $6. So that's exactly what I did right here. I took it underneath this 477 area below VWAP and below the 20 EMA, which is the blue line. VWAP's the dashed white line, that one right there. And the bodies of these candles, to me, that was the area to buy puts, and that's what I did. It didn't go far. This week, you got to take that 50 cents to $1. You need to know when you have to take that. The thing I hate about these kind of range days is they condition you to scalp smaller gains because of they just don't have any follow through. You can't sit there and hold for $2 or $3 moves, because you'd be lucky if you can get 50 cents to $1. Then you start having these range days a couple days back to back, and you get into that mojo, you get into that rhythm. Then all of a sudden they just dump it. This was the last play on Thursday, but this is exactly what happened. They ended up dumping it, having a big move, because usually after you have 2 short range days, one Wednesday, Thursday, they end up having a volatile day following. They condition you to scalp and get you in that mindset, and they just slam it on you. So with that said, Friday, SPY puts in a 476. The low is right here. It's 476.50. Rounded down to 476. First 2-minute candle's green. Didn't touch it. Inside. I did take puts at 10.25, which was right here. You get an inside candle inside. Tried to break out, fake out, came down here. Didn't quite break low day, but it stayed under the VWAP, and it came back down. Once it broke below the body of this candle, this is what I was looking at, and underneath 476.50. I was taking puts. I took the 47.80 puts at 560, and they went from 560 to 1610 right in that dump right there. So that ended up being a really, really good play if you held all the way through. Then you have an inside candle here, bear flag, you could say, and I didn't take that. I should have taken that. Maybe I wasn't sure if it was actually going to break down. I don't know. I took calls at 138, which is right here. No, 138. right there. Right here is where I took it. I could have taken it right here. I got the body, and this closed underneath it. And so if it broke over the 474.50, you definitely could have taken calls there, but I didn't. Came up to VWAP, pulled back into a bull flag. So once it broke over the body, these two candles right here, over the 474.85, I took the 47.65 calls at 740, and they went from 740 to $10. So we got a nice little play out of that. Can't complain about that. And then I took an end of the year strangle. I took the 47.75 calls and puts. I took the puts at 450 and the calls at 540. The puts went to from 450 to 1270, and the calls went to 0. But I ended up selling well over 10, so I ended up covering that really well. So that ended up working out. It just didn't dump as much as I was hoped it did. I think one of the mistakes I did is I got it too early. I got the end of the year SPX strangle at 317, and the move didn't happen until 350. I got it early, anticipating that maybe we would get an earlier move. I got it over here, and I probably should have just waited. If I waited, I definitely would have gotten a bigger play, because if I remember correctly, the calls and puts at this time were the puts were in the like high 280s, the low 3s, low 310s or something like that, and the calls were pretty cheap too, were under $4. So I definitely could have got saved $1.50 on each side if I just waited until 3:45, waited another 20 minutes. And I could have got them definitely a lot cheaper, and I could have got a bigger move. But I'm not going to complain. Puts paid very well, paid for the strangle. But other years we've had an end of the year move. They were like $2 or $3. They were massive moves, and this was pitiful. So it did work out. It did work out pretty well. So the trades for the week, very good, despite being a short week and holiday week and choppy. So we'll have to see what ends up happening this week coming up. So yeah, that's going to do it for the recap, and I hope this has helped, and thanks for watching.